and welcome to Around Town with Lily. Today I am interviewing Mr. Colantuoni, my principal at the Galvin Middle School. Hello, Mr. Colantuoni.
Good morning, Lily. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So why did you choose to become a principal?
Well, that's a really great question. I chose originally to become a middle school guidance counselor. I knew I always wanted to work in a school with students. Wasn't sure what age group. I found myself in a middle school. It was my first position, and I had some wonderful principals, assistant principals that really coached me, encouraged me to pursue some leadership opportunities. And I've just had some great timing in my career where I've been able to be fortunate enough to find myself as a principal of middle school. Wasn't something I set out to do, but I couldn't envision myself doing anything different at this point in my career.
What's the best part about your job?
I think the best part of my job is easily the students, the energy in our school. We have a big school with a lot of students, but I just love the energy that they bring to our school every day. I love the smiles. I love seeing all the great things that they're doing. And so by far, the best part of my job, just interacting with our students every day.
What's the worst part of your job?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's a worst part of my job. There are certainly challenging days. I think trying to find the time to spend with students is a challenge. I think trying to help students learn from their mistakes at a difficult age in middle school can be a challenge. So I wouldn't necessarily say there's a worst part of the job, but there are certainly some days that are more challenging than others. Oftentimes, I feel like there's not enough time in the day to do all the things I'd like to do. But again, I wouldn't say there's a worst part, just some days more challenging than others.
Why do you do an assembly on the first and last days of school?
That's a great question, and I love those two events. The only two times we bring our school together is on the first day and the last day to really celebrate being a community. So the first day we open school together, and the last day we close school together. And on the last day, it's a nice way to wrap up the year. Typically, we will do some type of picture slideshow or video. Last year, we did a neat dance video with the teachers. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun. So I think it's important, as big of a school that we are, that we at least come together on the beginning and the end to celebrate being a community.
What does I care mean to you?
I care. For those of you who don't know, those are the Galvin Middle School's core values. I won't put you on the spot, Lily, but I care is integrity, community, acceptance, respectful relationships, and excellence. So to me, those are all equally important core values. I think our school community came up with those together, and it's just a nice way to continue to remember and remind each other those things that we're working towards each day.
Did your teachers ever inspire you?
Absolutely. I grew up in Wakefield. I went to the Hurd School back when Wakefield had several elementary schools. Then I went to the Atwell Junior High School, and then I went to Wakefield High School. So along the way, I had many teachers and coaches that inspired me, all the way back to my first grade teacher, Miss McCrae. In high school, I had just many teachers that made an impact on me at really a difficult time in my life. Something that really inspired me to want to work in Wakefield Public Schools were the way that the adults and the teachers really looked after me, took care of me. When I was a 10th grader in high school, not much older than you, I had lost my dad very abruptly, and if it wasn't for the compassion and love I received from my teachers, who knows how things would have turned out for me. And I think going back to your first question, that's really what has inspired me to not so much be a principal, but want to work with students and give back to my community.
So what plans do you have for the Galvin?
I just want to keep moving us forward in the right direction. It's a beautiful school. We are blessed to have what I think is state-of-the-art middle school. And I really just want our school to take advantage of all the amazing opportunities we have as a school. But also, when we think about the core values, continue to really build us as a community. Every day we say, do the right thing, take care of one another. But really want to see that come to life in our school.
Could you describe a typical day for us, like at your school?
A typical day at the Galvin Middle School, what I love about our school and my job in particular is that no 2 days are the same. So it's hard to explain a typical day, but typically, once all the students arrive and we have 1,000+ students in our school, I just try to get out and be as visible as possible, visit classrooms and students, see all the great learning that's happening, in every grade level, in every classroom. Oftentimes, I will pop back into my office to check on any emails or phone calls, greet any visitors that I have. And as you know, the day moves very quickly at our school, but certainly try to get into the lunchrooms to say hello to people. Between the classes, when all the students are moving, I like to get out and just connect with students. But I think one thing that's really great about our school in particular is that no 2 days are alike, so it's hard to explain what a typical day looks like.
For those who don't know, could you explain the new snow day policy?
Yeah, so that's the Learn Anywhere snow day policy. So as we met with all of our students a few weeks ago, the expectation is that if school's canceled in Wakefield, students will still be making their best effort to complete any work assignments that the teachers have provided at home, with the expectation that nothing is due the next day. We recognize that some students may have conditions at home where they might not be able to get online or their power might be down. So really it's just an opportunity for learning to continue at home. And in the end, we won't have to make up any of the snow days at the end of the year, which will be a nice thing for everybody.
How often do you observe a classroom?
Well, I try to get into as many classrooms as possible every day. Again, just really to support our teachers and our students and stay connected to what's happening all across our school. But I would say typically I get into 2 to 3 classrooms a day, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And I love seeing the exciting things our classrooms are doing with the technology we have, with the Chromebooks, with the project-based learning. It's just, for me, what's so special is I can go to a 5th grade classroom, an 8th grade classroom, an art classroom, a math classroom. It's just so exciting to see all the great work our teachers and students are doing.
What would you be if you were not a principal?
Wow, great question. I would, it's a tough one. I haven't thought about that a lot. Like most middle school students would have said back when I was their age, I would have loved to have been a baseball player. So I would envision myself doing something in the sports, maybe, if not a baseball player, maybe working as a broadcaster, such as yourself. But that's something I don't know. It's a great question, I'm not sure of.
What do you like to do in your free time?
We love to travel. This vacation we're not traveling, but over the last several years, my wife and I have had the great fortune to travel to many different places, and I've seen a lot of the world. So I'd have to say my number one passion is traveling. And if not traveling, just relaxing at home, reading a book, or catching up on any type of television shows.
And as a final question, were you ever called down to the principal's office?
Wow, I have to say that I was not. I did the right thing in school, and I was never called to the principal's office.
Okay, thank you for your time. I would like to thank everyone for watching my show, and I hope everyone has a happy new year, and I hope to see you soon on Around Town with Lily.